Hey, I'm Brandon, and this is the Dirt Church Devotional. I wanted to share something with you today that I had read the other day, and I thought, that's just kind of odd. That's just kind of funny, but not funny as in ha ha, more funny as in sad, ironic, whatever. So this is coming out of the book of Numbers, chapter 20, and verse 5. Now, I'll give you a little bit of background. The people of Israel, they're complaining to Moses. They've been traveling around through the desert. They've left Egypt. They're cruising around in the desert, and deserts are what they are. Not an awful lot of food and water, etc., etc. And so the people once again complained to Moses, and this is what they said in verse 5. Why did you bring us up out of Egypt to this terrible place? It has no grain or figs or grapevines or pomegranates, and there's no water to drink. Well, okay. Essentially what they're saying is, you told us you were taking us to a promised land. This don't look like no promised land. It's not flowing with milk and honey. This isn't super. This isn't great. Why did you bring us here? There's nothing good here. Here's the funny, ironic, sad part. Just 6 chapters earlier, back in chapter 14 of the book of Numbers, Moses and Aaron had sent out Joshua and Caleb and 10 other guys to go spy out the land, the promised land. They'd been traveling through the desert for a couple of years. They said, go and bring back a report. They're right at the front door. They bring back this report that says, man, the land is awesome. It's flowing with milk and honey. Here's a cluster of grapes. We cut off a vine. It took 2 guys to carry it. One of the downsides, the cities are big, they're walled, and the people are huge. Well, what do? Joshua and Caleb said, let's go in, let's take it. God says we can have it. The other 10 guys, they were freaking out, and they said, man, those guys are so big, we look like grasshoppers. They're so big, there's no way we can beat them. And those 10 men turned the hearts of the entire nation, and they were afraid to go in. They had been wandering through the desert. Now, check this out. Just bear with me for a second. God had incredibly delivered them from the only world superpower at the time, Egypt. He had delivered them from Egypt after 400 years of slavery. They had wandered through the desert a ways. They got to the Red Sea. He parted the Red Sea. They walked through it, and the Egyptian army comes in after them, and God closes up the sea over them and drowns the Egyptian army. They're free. Yay, this is great. They go for a couple of years now, and they are at the front door of the promised land. The place where God said, I'm going to take you. The place where the blessing is. The place where it flows with milk and honey, and there's plenty of grapes and figs and water and grain and you name it. But they got scared. Their fear overrode their faith. And so they missed out on it. God said, look, if you're not going to trust me, if you're not going to trust that I can take you in, you're going to wander around in this desert till every one of you from that generation from 20 years old and older is dead. You got to have some faith in God to grab hold of the promises that he's given you. And they didn't do it. And just a couple of, like I say, 6 chapters later, maybe a couple of years later, they're complaining, this ain't no promised land. Well, you're right. This wasn't where God intended to take you. This wasn't part of the plan. This was your issue. This was your problem, not God's. And it got me to thinking, how many times do we hear, many of us have heard all the Bible passages, out of Jeremiah. I know the plans I have for you, plans to prosper you and not to harm you. And we hear pastors saying that God is for us, so who can be against us? And God's got good plans for us, and God's looking out for our best interest. How many times do we hear that and we grab hold of that because we want that promise, we want that, that land flowing with milk and honey. But we get to a point where we have to step out in faith, and our fear overrides our faith. I know I've been there. I've done it. I've failed as a result. The fact of the matter is, I can't very well blame God for my own failure. I can't very well say, hey, you promised me something, but you didn't deliver, when I'm the one that wouldn't walk through the open door. I don't know about you, Makes me think, makes me say, wow, I guess I'm not the only one. It makes me say, you know what? I'm going to do it better next time. Lord, I thank you for your promises, but next time, give me the strength, give me the boldness, give me the confidence to walk through that door and bring you some honor. And then I don't have to sit here saying, this ain't no promised land. I want to see I want to be in the promised land. All right, well, you have a great day. Think on that. If you got to make some changes, make them. Oh, by the way, feel free to comment down below or share this video with anybody you like. Anyway, have a great day. I will see you next time.